They made me eat my words again. Second straight time. Made me eat my tweets. I gave up on my Oklahoma City Thunder because who wouldn't? They were awful. They're turning the ball over. They can't stop Joker. They can't stop Jamal. Those two, talk about a dynamic duo, are having one of the great two-man games, one of the greatest I've ever seen. Oklahoma City was lifeless, getting beaten to every loose ball. And I must admit, I always go for the reverse jinx. So I just tweeted it was over. Sometime late in the third quarter, they're up 8, I guess, after 3. They're up 9 with 10 minutes left. 9 with 10 minutes left. And Joker and Jamal are unstoppable. And from that point forward, they got outscored 32-14 because my Thunder are even making a bigger believer out of me in fourth quarters. That's 2 in a row. In Game 4 in Denver, they outscored the Nuggets in Denver 28-19 just in the fourth quarter. This was 34-19. So my Oklahoma City Thunder, who I picked before the year to win, I said win the West. Now I'm going win it all. My Oklahoma City Thunder have held the Denver Nuggets once at home and now in Oklahoma City in Game 5 to a grand total of 19 points in the fourth quarter. And you know why? Because they just wear you down and wear you out. And the Nuggets they have 2 great stars. These are Hall of Famers, slam dunk Hall of Famers. To our 1 star, although Jalen Williams did make the All-Star team and he made a big 3 that swung it tonight. But the problem is they only have 2. And the problem is both of those 2 tonight, Joker and Jamal, played the entire fourth quarter, played all 12 minutes. And Joker played really well in the fourth. Jamal, not so much, 1 of 6. Michael Porter Jr., 0 of 3. Aaron Gordon, 0 of 3. In the fourth quarter, Denver shot 5 of 21. Denver shot in the fourth quarter 1 of 12 and the 1 from 3. 1 of 12 from 3 and the 1, Joker pulled it out of his ass on Chet. Chet's all over him and Joker just slings. He did it against the Lakers 2 years ago. He just slung it over his shoulder and it ripped because it looked like he was just on one. He was having one of those nights. And that was the only one they made in the whole fourth quarter, 1 of 12. In fact, everybody else except Joker in the fourth quarter went 1 of 15 as a team. That includes Jamal because Jamal's 1 was an uncontested layup that we just gave him after we went up, whatever it was, 7 near the end. What? I think we went up more than 7 because we just let him score. But my point is, so they have an uncontested layup, and that's Jamal's only shot that he made in the fourth quarter, and the only 3 they made out of 12 was out of your ass. Really? So what happened was the Oklahoma City defense, number 1 all year in every category, steals, points off turnovers, blah, 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 just number 1. It just wears you down mentally, and then it wears you down physically. And obviously, the Denver freaking Nuggets just hit the wall twice in back-to-back fourth quarters after they look like the better team for 3 quarters. I don't know what the Thunder did. They're excruciating for me to watch. They just wear me out. They wore me down and out tonight because they're getting beaten to every loose ball. Then they'll have a little flurry, and then they came down in the third quarter 3 straight times, turnover, offensive foul, charge, turnover. So 3 straight turnovers, and it just takes the life out of the crowd. And then the same thing happened in Game 5 that happened in Game 4. In Game 4, when I least expected, and I'd given up and tried to do the reverse jinx tweet, all of a sudden, I'm pacing around. My little daughter, Hazel, my Maltese, she's sleeping at my feet right now. She's looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm pacing. I couldn't even tweet in the fourth quarter of Game 4 because it looked like we were going to go down 3-1. And all of a sudden, Cason Wallace hits a three, and then Aaron Wiggins hits a three, and then Cason Wallace hits another three, and I look up, and we've gone from down 8 to up 2. Where did that come from? With 8:35 left, we were up 2. We never relinquished that lead. Tonight, same thing. Skip to my Lou, as in Dort. Skip to my Lou, as in Dort. Skip to my Lou, as in Dort. He makes 3 straight threes, and he can go as cold as Oklahoma City can get in February, like northern cold. He can just go crazy cold or crazy hot. And when I least expect it, he goes boom, boom, boom. And I look up, and with 6:20 left, we're only down 2. And I thought, wait a second, there's a chance. There's actually some hope. And obviously the crowd is all-time loud and all-time great. And all of a sudden, my team in the fourth quarter goes 10 of 18, 5 of 9 from 3, thanks to those 3. And then Jalen Williams made 1, and then SGA made 1. 9 of 11 from the free throw line. I don't love the 2 misses, but SGA comes up big. I'm never sure. These playoffs expose everybody, and I'm thinking, is he that guy? Hazel just woke up and said, I don't know about him. She's not sure about SGA, but he scored 10 in the fourth, 3 of 5 shots, made a 3, made all 3 of his free throws. Jalen hit the big 3. Me of little faith. They're showing me they are made of the right stuff. They are made of the toughest stuff. And as Jalen Williams just said on Inside the NBA, is he not high IQ, smart, eloquent, like PhD eloquent? It just every interview, I'm just mesmerized by what he's saying. And he makes the point that all year long, Dagnall just would play everybody. They would go 10 deep in big situations, tough situations. Not that they had that many late and close games, because they just didn't. But he would play everybody. So all of a sudden, people get Cason Wallace gets thrown in, and they've been there and done that during the regular season. And my fear going into tonight was, you saw what happened to the best team in the Eastern Conference during the regular season this year, the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're done. They got sent home at home by the Pacers. Their coach of the year, their Spider, their Darius Garland. They're the 2 best dynamic duo bigs in basketball. They're Ty Jerome coming off the bench. It looked like they had it all. They didn't have as good a record as Oklahoma City, but they were the beast of the East, and they are done. And the Pacers look like they easily could draw the New York. If the Knicks can close it out, God bless Jason Tatum in his recovery. I just knew it just looked like an Achilles. But usually with an Achilles, there's not much pain. It's just like, what just happened? My foot doesn't work anymore. So I was surprised he was writhing so much. I think he was writhing psychologically because he just knew what had happened, and that he's gone. And it's such a long, hard rehab. It's the most mysterious injury. It's the worst injury in sports. And you never know if you're going to come back with the same spring, same quickness. It's just horrible. So, I don't love the Celtics' chances now, so it could be Knicks Pacers to get to the NBA Finals. If my Thunder can get by these guys, and these guys are really tough. Do I think the Thunder can beat Minnesota? There was one game at Oklahoma City where they just fell apart against Minnesota, and Ant-Man didn't even play in the fourth quarter. Finch just sat him. Just got mad at him, sat him, and whoever else was in the game roared back. They were way down, so I'm going to have to contend with that if we can get by Denver. Now we got to get, they're 5-point favorites, are the Thunder. They were 10.5-point favorites tonight, and they did not get home. It was 112 to 105. Thought they were going to get there when they jumped out 12-2 to start the game. But, man, can the Thunder beat the T-Wolves? Yes, they can. Can they beat the Pacers or the Knicks? If that's where we're heading, you better believe we can beat those teams. So I like our chances, but I didn't love our chances after 3 quarters of Game 4 and 3 quarters of Game 5. And now we're up 3-2 as a 5-point favorite going into Thursday night at Denver. I'm believing. I'm liking this more and more in clutch situations, which is fourth quarter situations where we look doomed. You keep doing that, you start to really believe that you're never, ever out of any game. I love that about this team. It's just been the best team. It's been statistically the greatest team in the history of the NBA. And I'm not exaggerating. Just go look at the numbers. They win the West by 16 games. It's a record. They win the margin of victory. It's a record. They've been doing it all year long. And you say, well, so had Cleveland. Cleveland hadn't been doing this to people. And I still think we're watching the NBA Finals. And I have undying respect. They've earned more respect, have Joker and Jamal. They're really, really mentally, physically tough. For a while, they were just killing us on the boards. And then in the fourth quarter, we rise up and out-rebound them 15-9 in the fourth quarter. They hit the wall. They don't have enough depth. Their young coach is going to have to try to play somebody for the first 4 or 5 minutes of the fourth quarter to give them a chance to close the deal. My team closed 2 straight deals, and we're up 3-2. My Oklahoma City Thunder, I never thought my city would have an NBA team. I still can't believe it does after all these years. I guess Seattle can't believe it either, right? But in the end, the Nuggets had lots of open shots in the fourth quarter, and they just started bricking. And I don't even want to start there. I'll jinx myself if I start talking about Russell Westbrook. But, he was horrible tonight. And yet early in the fourth quarter, he made both his free throws. And I said, well, I'm doomed. If Russ can go to the free throw line and make 2, because he's just career horrible from the free throw line and from 3. And now we're up 3-2. Thank you, Oklahoma City Thunder, for making even more of a believer out of me. I gave up on you, trying to reverse Jinx tweet. And again, am I still a little queasy about Thursday? Sure I am. How could I not be? These guys are really, really good, and that crowd is really, really crazy. And whatever they have left, I hope they're just running out of total gas. Keep pouring it on, Thunder. Thunder up. I love you guys.